Keep the lights on. Use Airtel Money to pay for all your Yaka bills conveniently. Open the My Airtel app to buy Yaka units. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
A very good afternoon to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome to our lunchtime news this Thursday, the 15th of July 2021. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa, and this is what we have for you in this bulletin. Police in Luero has urged parents to ensure harmony and coexistence in families to minimize the rate of cases related to domestic violence. The in-charge Busika Police Post SP Atim Edith says that in implementing the presidential directives on COVID, they are receiving cases of domestic violence on a very high rate.
Police in Luero is challenged with the increasing cases of domestic violence, rape and defilement. Assistant Superintendent of Police Busika Police Post, Atim Edith, says that while they are faced with the challenge of enforcing the COVID-19 directives, cases of domestic violence and rape are on the increase. She urged parents to ensure harmony and coexistence in families to minimize such cases. Atim made the remarks while receiving maize flour, soap, sugar, masks and sanitizers, among other assortments, donated by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. Jesse Muyingo. The items were delivered by his political assistant in Bamnanika, Abdul Karim Waswa.
Saying that the public should follow the government directives. We shall also continue doing our work because that is what brought us here. And I'd like to thank everyone who is around. The community should know that we are here for them and we shall continue working. As they also follow the directives of the government, then we shall also cohabit in peace.
Minister Muyingo also donated to taxi drivers, boda riders, the elderly, persons with disabilities and market vendors. Abdul Karim Waswa promised that Dr. Muyingo will continue with his programs of supporting the underprivileged in the area. The chairman for persons with disabilities, Hakim Severi, commended Minister Muyingo for the support towards the underprivileged.
My estimate is about 492 people with disabilities. Dr. Jesse Muyingo has been assisting these people for a period of 10 years, and he has started another term. Thank him so much. He's in the real feet of His Excellency YK Museveni.
Atim says that though there is noticeable compliance of SOPs, there is need for more. Salon Fred Kasibante,
Government has denied claims by some political actors of most beneficiaries of the COVID-19 Relief Fund affiliated to the ruling National Resistance Movement. Minister for Information, Communications, Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, says that all mistakes in the beneficiaries lists were corrected. This was said during the Wednesday afternoon parliamentary sitting where Prime Minister Robin Nabanja was tasked to present a detailed statement on how they are managing the COVID-19 next week. They will manage the relief fund next week.
We discovered that that person was not registered by the LC1 or through the normal process. The boy said for him, he was taken straight to register with the office of the RDC.
This was one of the most piercing, yet unconfirmed reports from the opposition regarding COVID-19 relief funds. Apparently, Kilak South County Member of Parliament Gilbert Olanya, alleging that funds were being distributed based on political affiliations.
Right, Honorable Speaker, there is some problem with this money. And also we learn that the majority of people who are receiving this money are the NRM cadres. If you are the best cadre, you receive this money. This information I want to give further.
This was just one of the concerns by the members of Parliament, including these.
In my constituency, including areas called town councils, which are classified as vulnerable, I am not aware of anyone who has received the money.
We have local council chairmen who can witness to that effect that no one in their villages have got this money. So
the concerns coming at a time the Prime Minister Robin Nabanja was meant to present a detailed explanation regarding the same. It was, however, pushed to Wednesday next week as guided by the day's session chair, also Deputy Speaker Anita Among.
Money was coming from Ministry of Finance to Bank of Uganda, from Bank of Uganda to Post Bank, from Post Bank to these companies, MTN or Airtel, from Airtel to beneficiaries. And therefore, if I was given an opportunity to present my report, all of these questions that are coming currently now would have been answered.
And let people take responsibility. If somebody is supposed to be in the house, then there must be a representative. You're not going to start clapping your hands when you know that you're supposed to be in the house.
But why all these concerns from MPs? Did anything go wrong with the registration and verification process? This is what Shamim Malende, the woman member of Parliament for Kampala District, thinks. A point of view that Dr. Chris Baryomunsi disagrees with.
I think the concern is raised because there's a discrepancy in the list of the beneficiaries that's being presented. And even recently we had a riot in Rubaga division over the list because the residents there were claiming that some people on the list were actually dead people.
There is a strong filtration process where the system which we have developed has to check whether you are the genuine person, whether your NINI number is the correct one, whether it corresponds to a telephone number, and all those checks.
Baryomunsi also refutes claims of beneficiaries being cadres of the ruling National Resistance Movement.
So whether you belong to NRM or opposition, whether you are a Christian or non-Christian, whether you are a Muganda or a Muchiga, a Nachori, it is not an issue. The issue is you are affected by the measures. So those who are making those allegations, they're just doing it for politicking, but it's not true.
So, as the Prime Minister returns next week, more legislators want their concerns captured.
3/4 of the people who do border, they come from the rural area, and that is Bungoko North, in the mountains of Wanale, Budwale, Bufumbo, Bubyangu, Bukonde, and these guys are not included.
This and more is what Prime Minister Robin Anabanja will address on Wednesday next week. Henry Okurut, UBC.
A section of beneficiaries of the COVID-19 relief funds in Gulu City have urged government to add them more relief aid, arguing that what was given is little. Simon Okello, a boda rider, says he has spent the money on buying foodstuff like posho, beans and cooking oil, but the money is not enough to buy charcoal. In this report, the money is also breeding hatred among boda riders.
Sitting at his home in the Luero Peche division, Simon Okello shows us the 25 kilograms sack of maize flour, 10 kilograms and 5-liter cooking oil that he bought using the COVID-19 money that was sent to his phone on Monday, the 12th of July, 2021.
Proving it is there, I just went straight to the withdrawing agent, then I withdrew my 100,000 shilling. I had it. For now, I have to buy some maize, bean is here, and the cooking oils, and charcoal is also there, and posho is also here. So that's what I used. I use it, and I bought some, and others I repaired with my motorcycle.
He acknowledges that this is timely support from the government of Uganda, but the people are desperate and need more financial support.
They have got it and they have to use it well. And those ones who have not yet registered, they should, at least the government should extend the exercise so that each of us to get registered and at least they get something from the government and like this relief fund. So at least that one will help. Because when you see them, they are not happy.
He's currently staying alone in this grass-thatched house that he rents at 20,000 per month. He sent his wife and mother to the village in order to lessen the burden of buying food. At the Cook-Daya boda stage, Amy Ochen, a boda and chairperson of bodas in Badege Laibi division, calls on the government to continue registering people for these funds.
In Gulu City, we had about only 5,000 boda members whom they are going to benefit, even though some of their members, their money is still on the way coming. Initiative, the program, the government of Uganda, they have seen that is very important to support the boda. We do appreciate, but concerning those who receive this money, I'm appealing to them to use it properly. Don't go and drink alcohol.
Ojok Christopher thinks the government should extend COVID-19 vaccination to everyone so that they are back on the streets to make money. However, the 100,000 shillings is also breeding hatred in boda stages, as some of their colleagues who have not yet received the money are unhappy.
Still from Gulu City, people living with HIV/AIDS have stopped going to the health centers to pick their antiretroviral drugs due to fear of contracting the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the city COVID-19 task force, the death and reports of medical workers contracting the deadly virus is scaring the patients who are supposed to pick their drugs.
The COVID-19 task force in Gulu City received information that the number of HIV and AIDS patients picking up their medication from health centers has gone down due to fear of contracting the virus. This was during their 7th sitting at the Gulu City yard.
Most of them are fearing to seek medical attention, and others are fearing even to go for their appointment so that they can pick drugs, ARV drugs, because they have the fear that if even health workers are contracting the disease. So going there is like a trap. They will also get what? COVID-19. So,
according to the Gulu City health educator, the people living with HIV and AIDS fear further exposure.
Present with signs and symptoms. When they are tested, some are tested positive. So it looks like
Even everyone who is going there might be having COVID. So HIV positive, because they have low immunity, they are now fearing to seek medical attention, even to pick their drugs, because they think they can easily get the disease.
This is another looming tragedy, as failure to adhere to treatment will send many HIV and AIDS patients to an early grave.
Disclosed to us that they fear going to or accessing the health facilities to get their medications because they fear they might contract COVID, because they have been hearing over on the news, on the TVs and social media that most doctors or nurses, let me say in general, health practitioners have been contracting COVID, and a good number of them have succumbed to such.
By press time, Gulu City had recorded 97 COVID-19 deaths. Otim Joseph Katende, an ambulance driver from the Dream Center, thinks that the task force has to find innovative ways of delivering the ARVs.
Discuss with the board, it's the board to make the decision to start and see a way of how to support these people. Because in the last COVID-19 phase, we remember Dream Center was supplying food for the whole Gulu, almost the vulnerable people, e.g. the borders, and other people were going to the district to access food from Dream Center, and Dream Center has been giving food to all of them. But this time we still don't know the plans.
The fear is believed to be based on the recent death of health workers. The Gulu City Task Force chairperson, Dennis Odongpin, says these patients are playing with wildfire.
If you fail to take your ARV, your immunity comes down, then you can be attacked by many opportunistic diseases, and eventually you succumb. So I think there's no reason why they should fear.
However, they have embarked on sensitization on radios and plan to involve VHTs in delivering these medications to the HIV and AIDS patients in their villages.
Kotido district leadership and hospital administrators are under the spotlight of a shoddy work and poor management of the health center in the district. The hospital has structures that have collapsed, being utilized as shelter for patients. The deplorable conditions here have left the Parliamentary Committee on COVID-19 in utter shock, calling for further investigations into the conduct of the district's political leadership.
This structure, which was to be the children's ward, was constructed 10 years ago, and since then it has never been put to use. All the equipment was not installed either, but the MPs were shocked to see the house with cracks and the ceiling has started falling down.
So it's true. What happened? It is true. This house since was built, I don't think they have ever used it. They have never used it. They have never used it. They have never used it. This house has never been used since it was built. But as you can see, the ceiling is falling.
However, the clinical officer at the hospital says the Kotido district failed to employ the required staff to actualize the use of the facility.
Of course, now since the building was constructed, we have not been using because we did not have the adequate staff, that is the pediatrician and also the pediatric nurses.
Failure to put in use a multi-million structure was not only the joke of the day, but the theatre, which is currently undergoing renovation, was also deemed unfit for use.
This floor has to be done because when we are cleaning, we're going to get all sorts of infections. You get my point? Yes. All this, it really has to be done. I'm sorry for crucifying you, but please put your objection right.
I'll do something.
Dr. Charles Ayumi, MP Koboko Municipality, instructed the district authority not to commission the theatre due to substandard work. LC5 chairman Kotido blamed the shoddy works and mismanagement on the former district leadership, pledging to fix the mess.
We promised the people of Kotido that we shall offer them effective leadership. Effective leadership that is going to take charge of each and every sector here. In construction, in roads, we don't want shoddy works. These good works you are seeing happen during the past administration. But with my coming in, the mayor and the members of parliament, we are going to ensure that the 5 years, they are not just years for jokes, they are years of results where we deliver standard and quality services to the people of Kotido district.
Kotido Health Center 4 is in the process of being upgraded to a district referral hospital, which the people say is long overdue. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kotido.
From Kotido, we'll take a very short break. Don't miss what we have on return. Thank you for watching.
The Office of the Prime Minister, together with the National Planning Authority, will on Friday 16th July 2021 launch the National Development Plan web-based monitoring and evaluation system developed to provide timely progress assessment on the performance of the National Development Plan. This message is brought to you with support from the European Union.
Airtel Uganda has the best and most affordable rates when it comes to withdrawing and sending money. Withdraw money for as low as 330 shillings up to a maximum of 12,500 shillings. Sending money is just as affordable as ever. Absolutely unbeatable. Use Airtel Money on the most affordable network with the largest network of Airtel Money branches in Uganda. Dial *185# to get started. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field couldn't be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite shows.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Man, guess what happened yesterday? I entered the what? The taxi. But the pregnancy is from the what? The generator. Then my phone does tutu. And the toothbrush breaks in the what? In the porridge. Then I call who?
Wait, what?
First wait. I am still telling you. Then the jerrycan does what?
Love to talk? MTN My Paka Paka now has more minutes. Get My Paka Paka voice bundles to talk and talk at no extra charge. Dial *160*1# to activate My Paka Paka.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
COVID-19 chija kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear a mask properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome to our lunchtime business news. Prudential Insurance Uganda has acquired over 50,000 IAA insurance clients in an unprecedented partnership launched in Kampala. The acquisition also sees all staff and sales agents of the IAA in Uganda cross over to Prudential's management.
We're happy to share that globally, Prudential serves 15 million customers, and this success, which began in 1848, is down to our focus on meeting the needs of our customers in all times. Prudential's growth in Uganda is hinged on customer centricity, innovation, and our track record of always honoring every single valid claim.
What has not changed, however, is the cost of medical care and access to quality medical facilities. Ensuring that we have good health is very important because an unhealthy workforce or population means there's no productivity, and no productivity translates to negative economic consequences, not only to families, but to the nation at large.
To our new policyholders, as a result of this transfer, the one that we are celebrating today, we would like to reassure you that we are a trusted partner, and we pledge to continue serving you with even better standards and quality enjoyed by over 20 million customers across the world.
Welcome back from the break. The 47th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council adopted on Tuesday a resolution urging action to tackle systematic racism against Africans and people of African descent. According to the resolution, a panel of 3 experts with law enforcement and human rights expertise will be established as an international independent expert mechanism to investigate government's responses to peaceful anti-racism protests and all violations of international human rights law, as well as to contribute to accountability and redress for victims. The resolution condemns systematic and structural racism and all forms of racial discrimination, as well as denounces the persistent racial discrimination and violence from law enforcement officers against Africans and people with African descent. The resolution underscores that the transatlantic slave trade is among the major sources and manifestations of racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, and related intolerance, and that Africans and people of African descent, Asians and people of Asian descent, and indigenous peoples were victims of the acts. Minister of Chinese Mission to United Nations at Geneva, Zhang Duan, said that the tragedy of George Floyd highlights the urgency and importance of curbing systemic racism and racial discrimination. He also called on the international community to take immediate action in this regard. In the world of sport, Uganda national rugby 15's women won first leg tie 41-0 against Zimbabwe women's national side in the ongoing Africa Rugby Women's Cup that climaxed yesterday at Chadondo Rugby Grounds in Kampala.
And there she goes, very, very hard carries.
Asamia Aikuru 15th minutes try and Emily Lekuru 18th minutes touchdown in the first half of the contest kept the Lady Cranes upbeat in the game as they squared ties with Zimbabwe national women's 15th side in the Africa Rugby Women's Cup.
That's a very useful kick by Charlotte Mudola, and you have Emily Lekuru breathing down the Sable's neck.
The Lady Cranes mounted more pressure on the Sambos through forwards phase plays. This sent the Zimbabwe women into panic, forcing them to concede unnecessary mistakes like knock-ons that gave advantage to the Lady Cranes to launch gigantic forwards play to the sluggish Zimbabwe pack. However, all wasn't well as Lady Cranes hooker Yvonne Najuma was sent to the sidelines with a yellow card after fouling a Zimbabwe player. At halftime, Lady Cranes tactician Leonardo Lubambula gave more polished tactics to the Lady Cranes that saw both the forwards and backs attacking Zimbabwe like wasps. This saw Uganda scoring another 31 points in a game that ended 41-0 in favor of the Lady Cranes. Lok Winnie Atiang was named most valuable player. Uganda will play her second encounter against Zimbabwe on 18th July this month at Chadondo Rugby Club. The winner will be pitted for the quarterfinals that will be played next year. The tournament will be used as a qualifier for Rugby Women's World Cup due 2023 in France. In the men's clash, Ghana outclassed Algeria 22-20. Reporting for UBC TV News, Helen Barbara, Gizamba.
Yes, thank you so much for watching, and that brings us to the end of all we had for you this afternoon. My name is Michael General Lukomwa. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.